Hi all, welcome back to Sunshine in the City show. Wow, look at things, eh? I concentrate on focusing on the world and what's happening in the world and trying to make a difference. And what happens? We have a lady called Karen Adern, Jacinda Adern, but we're going to rename her Karen Adern. And as you know, what a Karen does. Karen is one of those annoying people. Well, Darren, she's 37 years old. She used to wrap chips, wrap our chips. And possibly she used to wrap our chips. I like to believe she did in Morrinsville there. So she was a chip wrapper. Now she's 37 years old, and it's a brainwashed age, really. Sorry for everyone who's 37 years old, but how do you run a world when you've been taught that the environment is so friggin' important? And you ignore oil, you ignore the fact that you need gas, you just get rid of everything because you've got this agenda of environment and you want to be the do-gooder, the white knight. So she wants to be the white knight, and so she's got all these people out doing Black Lives Matter, thousands and thousands of kids. She closed down schools, they're all attending these marches, so they got thousands upon thousands of school kids. Barely anyone's over the age of 25 in those marches, and they got people clapping in the streets for their protests. And they protested a thug who has, as you know, who's probably a CIA agent working for the world order. So here they are, you always attack the guy that protects you, and this is what's happening in society. So here you can look at the video and right now, and you can look for yourself, kind of decide. And you have to remember that with the cops, the guy had a white badge on and a red badge on coming out of the vehicle, that he was definitely CIA and there's definitely stuff going on. I just want you guys to think, and I'll put in a few clips. You can have what we think. Thanks. The reason that movie 1984 is really, really important is it's what's happening now. We have the younger generation who've been brainwashed. We have the older guy in the movie 1984 that knew better. He could remember the past. He could remember the truth. But he couldn't convey that truth anymore. So where we have this guy, George Floyd, and we have the guy that killed him, who looked like they both worked in a security company, even though George Floyd had a long previous list of convictions, which is impossible for a security guard, and you have to think about that. And how could this guy be working as security and have 70 convictions against himself and as a police officer? So how can he be doing two jobs? Sounds like CIA, sounds like a setup, and they've said before that it takes an Israeli intelligence. They've been training them, going to Israel, and only CIA would be going there. You wouldn't be using police officers to train there. CIA is the same company as Project Mockingbird, same company as Deep State, same company as George Soros, same company as trying to get people to do racial tensions against America, release the prisoners from the prisons so there's more corruption, more looting, more bad guys out there. So there's chaos, and Trump's doing such a bad job when the whole time it's the media judging Trump because he's standing against world order on microchipping and vaccinating us, standing up to World Health Organization, which did a bad job, said it didn't pass from person to person in February. Have to remember this, and you have to remember the World Health Organization is fully funded by Bill Gates, well, not fully funded, but 300 and something million, and they ignored all the money from America because at the end of the day, the globalists control the world. And you have a control going on, there's lots of money, you have Adern, 37-year-old chip maker, suddenly decides she's going to run this country, going to tell us what's good, what's bad, 37 years old. That could happen to anyone of that age. That's what they think about at that age. That's why they can march for black rights, but they're not going to march for the guy in the MAGA hat. They're not going to march for the guy who's 75 years old, the security guard, who died defending himself against looters who shot him dead. And it's a terrible job now for security and police officers to be working in a situation where no one cares about their life, no one cares that these guys are going to kill them, they only care about the justice of the bad guy. And that is the problem. So we need the police to have full powers, but when a guy does stuff up, yeah, sure. But at the same time, if they can't prosecute the guy, he's CIA. He's part of the problem. You've got a whole intelligence service stopping that guy from being fired, pulling strings, the power. I mean, how can Trump have control of the world? You can't have control of all the CIA and all the police stations. They don't even want them in the States. They don't even want them in charge. They don't want the feds there. So, we're in this crazy world where the states are doing their own thing. They know better than him. These liberals, they're running their own states, and that's causing the chaos. That's causing all these ped rings underground and all this nastiness. And then we've got rich people underground as well. I mean, people should stop doing this underground stuff. I'm going to say underground, shite. Anyway, thanks guys for subscribing.